The sea taught me powerful principles you can use in life every single day. Even when it's in business, in your relations, or just in the choices that you make. I didn't realize all of this until I got absolutely smashed by a wave here in Bali. I thought I was in control, but the sea did not care at all. It hit me, dragged me under, and it left me tumbling. And that's when it clicked. Life works the same way. You can't control everything around you, but you can control how you respond to it. And it also taught me that I need to take some surfing lessons. But after all, that's just one lesson the sea taught me. But the deeper you look, the more you will realize the sea reflects lives in ways you will never expect. But here's the thing. The sea does not only learn you things about control, but it also learns you things about persistence. The sea will never stop hitting the rocks, and over time, the rocks will change shape. Persistence always pays off. The water will fell the rock. I remember when I was in sales and my commission was at 0. I stared at my calendar, no calls booked, no deals to close, and worst of all, no certainty. I was grinding like crazy, but nothing was happening. And that's when the doubt kicked in. Is all of this even working? Why don't I just get something more stable? But here's the thing that kept me going. The thought of giving up on my own dreams is something I could not bear. You never know how long something will take, but the only thing that you do know is that if you quit, it will never happen. I kept putting in the reps. I did the direct sales job, selling dog food in markets. I did cold calling. I did every kind of sales job in the past 2.5 years. And all of a sudden, things started to hit off because I stayed consistent. I gained experience and I gained skills. That same skills helped me to land a new partnership with a really cool company, Go for Xav, where I can sell CGI art or FOO, fake out of home marketing, to big brands like Crocs, New Balance, Asics. Those are all brands Go for Xav worked with. And because I met him in Lisbon, and now again we met in Bali, the owner of the company, the founder, and I stayed consistent the whole time that I have the skill sets to sell right now, it brought me this new partnership. If I wasn't consistent at all, I would have never landed this, and this opportunity would never struck my way. Just like the sea, persistence wears down the rock. It's slow, it's frustrating, but over time, it changes everything. And this is what I learned just from looking at the sea. When I was in Madeira, when I was in Bali, when I am in Bali right now, so when I'm looking at the sea here, but also when I was in Lisbon, I just loved staring at the sea and see how the sea, the waves, the ocean works its own ways around. It's always there, it's always persistent, and it's always smashing against those rocks, smashing against those cliffs. And if you just watch it, you can learn more from that than you think. But persistence alone isn't enough. Because if you push at the wrong time, with the wrong thing, with the wrong boat, no amount of effort will save your ass. And believe me, I learned this the hard way. When I first got kicked out of school, I just cut all the ropes. I quitted all my side jobs to go all the way into sales. But that's the thing, I had no skills at all. I had no understanding of the game, and I had no clue what I was doing. So I was doing the wrong jobs, put in a lot of effort, but made no money at all. And that hits hard, because within a couple of months, I was dead ass broke and needed to live on crackers for 2 months straight up, barely able to keep my head afloat and afford my rent. All because I was impatient. I picked the wrong wave. And this is something I learned through surfing here in Bali. Because if you're surfing, you're sitting there in the water and you need to pick the right wave to ride. If you pick a wave that's way too big, you get just crushed by it. If you pick a wave that's way too small, it will not drag you along with you, and it just takes you a shit ton of time and effort to paddle back to the right place to catch the waves. And in the meantime that you took the wrong wave, some good waves could have come along that you missed because you were impatient and took a too small wave. But if you catch the perfect wave with the perfect timing, it rides you along really nice. And in life it's the same. You need to pick your waves. If things are too small for you, it takes you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it will just cost you energy, sometimes even money. But if the wave is way too big for you, you get just crushed by it. I thought when I got kicked out of school, I could force my wave through, but timing wasn't right. And instead of riding the wave, I just got crushed. But here's the thing about timing. Sometimes you just need to wait. After that experience, I stuck with sales for 2.5 years. And that decision changed everything. Because you need to pick some wrong waves to learn to recognize a good one. But those years of learning, building, grinding, and developing my skills, that's the thing that give me the opportunity right now with the partnership I just started. This is an opportunity I would not have been ready for if it happened like a year ago. So put in the reps and pick some wrong waves to be ready for the right one. If you pick the wrong wave, you get crushed, and that's fine. You learn from it. And if you're patient enough, do the reps, do the work, you can wait for the right wave, and it can drag you further than you can even imagine. But here's the tricky part. The sea is never the same. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's wild. And life works the same. When my ex broke up with me, for example, it sucked, it hurt. But I also knew that I could not stay in the same place because it would only hold me back. And that's what I have with staying in the same place, staying in the same surroundings in general right now. So I booked a flight to Lisbon and lived there for a whole month. New surroundings forced me to adapt. I met new people that inspired me, that challenged me, that helped me grow. I also met Xavier there, the guy I partnered up with right now in Bali. And the same happens here in Bali as well, with the surroundings. They help me up, they help me grow, and you just meet really cool people. You can't control the waves, that's for certain, but you can learn how to ride the waves, no matter how messy it can get. Because when things feel uncertain, when things feel really messy, and everything has been shifting, the best thing you can do is adapt and move forward. Also, one of the best things you can do is like this video, subscribe this video, or share it with someone who you think this is valuable for. So they can pick the right waves, so they can adapt, so they can learn from all the mistakes I made, so you don't have to make them. Because now we go into real depth. Because people think this whole digital nomad life is all sunsets, beaches, nice views, cool things, and freedom. But the truth, most of us are still grinding 12 to 14 hours a day. Most of us are consistently pushing to make things work. The cool trips, it's all real, don't get me wrong, but so is the hard work to get there. The insecurities and the moments where nothing seems to be working. So the next time you compare yourself with someone's highlight reels, just know, don't compare their surface level to your depth. It's a matter of perspectives, because just like the sea, it has good parts and it also has bad parts. It's home to many lives, but it also takes many lives by its own ways. Because the waves that shape you the most are the ones that you don't see coming. Life is fired at you point blank. And whenever I stare at the sea, there's just one thought that always hits me. The sea doesn't rush, it doesn't force, it just is. Powerful, still, yet capable of shaping everything around it. It reminds me to trust the process and stay grounded and focus on the things I can control. Because in life, just as the sea, you can't control every wave, but you can decide how you ride them. And if you don't have that much money right now, but still want to ride your own wave, I created this video that might help you a lot. And if you want to know what pursuing your dreams really is like in depth, watch this video, because you can see how much the struggles really are. And then visionaries, I would say, just as always, take action, go forward, and ride your own waves. Ciao.